Hey, what's up, guys? Just finished doing my clutch. I made a pretty long video. It was like 40 minutes long. I highly doubt anyone's going to make it all the way through that. So I did say something about telling stories or whatever. And I can't really tell a story and try to do this stuff at the same time. I'm not, my attention span's all over the place. But I did say something, I mentioned something about telling fire department stories because if you don't know, I just retired, like it's coming up on a year now. I had 24 years in the fire service. I was in the Coast Guard before that. So seen, some cool stuff and seen some pretty shitty stuff, but I've, being around a bunch of firemen, they sure do make funny stuff out of most horrible things. It's kind of like one of their coping mechanisms. But real quick, I'll tell you a stupid story. And I'm going to try. I have a couple on the top of my head, so I kind of bounce around. I know I said that before. But I'm trying to get this going and get this wrapped up so I can put my motorcycle back together. I got a bunch of more stuff that I'm trying to do. But I realize, some of this stuff nobody cares about. But hey, you know what? It's just something fun to do, and I'm trying to get there. So anyway, every fire department, over the years of you working there, we had a saying that the clowns change, but it's the same circus. So it really is, and I miss the guys like tremendously. There's so many guys that I stay in touch with, and we have lunch and all this stuff, and we tell stories at lunch. We go out to places and relive like calls that we've been on, and it ends up turning into a complete shit show. Like we all start talking over each other, and people are like, "What the hell is wrong with them, man?" And we're donkey laughing. At least I do. I donkey laugh like crazy. I can't help it. And everybody gets super loud and talking over each other. Just one quick story though, like maybe it'll spark another story. It's like a deck of cards. I wasn't on this call, but this was a guy that he had retired before me, but I thought this was a pretty funny story that was worth keeping alive. So we get medical calls all the time from the station, and the rescue will go out on the call, and if it's a serious call, then the fire engine or ladder truck, whatever's in the station, will follow if it's a cardiac arrest or something like that, something serious, drowning, shootings, things like that. But most times, not everything's serious. So it was a sick person call. So rescue goes out, and he goes to the call, and it was, like I said, a sick person. So they get to the call, and there was a man inside of his house. You walk in the house, and you don't know what you're expecting inside there, right? So that just clicked off another story, but I don't know if I can tell that one. So let me stick to this one. So guy's in there, and he's saying, "Man, I don't feel good." And as a paramedic, you got to go down. You got to get down your normal questioning and try to find out what's going on. And some of the houses we go in, it doesn't matter, but like some of them are in better shape than others. And the crazy thing is, regardless of whether you're rich or poor, we've kind of seen it all. Like we've been into houses that obviously, like you go into the house, it's like falling apart on the outside. Sometimes the inside is just as bad. And I've been in houses where you've actually wanted to wipe your feet when you leave the house, so you don't want to get the world dirty outside. Like that's how disgusting some of it is. But like I said, you have the flip side. You can go to the top of like the skyscraper in the city that overlooks the ocean, and it's like a hoarder house, like terrible. Like, I mean, it's disgusting. But then you go to the house that's falling apart on the outside, and there's an elderly couple in there, and the house is absolutely spotless, perfect, and smells like bleach. There's pictures on the wall. So whatever things that you were thinking as you were walking in, they go out the door. You go inside. It's a nice, clean house. Super nice people. They don't have everything, they're not rich or whatever, but they're extremely nice. So over the years, you start to look through all that nonsense. So back to this guy. He's sitting in this house. House is, normal, standard. We're human beings. Like, it's a little dirty, whatever. Like, my house isn't perfect either. So he's sitting on the couch and he's saying, holy cow, man, my stomach is hurting and I don't feel well. I think I need to go to the hospital. So we're trying to figure out, we can't just call the nurses up or the ER and go, all right, we're en route with a guy that says he doesn't feel good. So we have to go down the rabbit hole of like trying to figure out what the heck's going on. So you ask them a whole bunch of questions, medical history, any of those, your obviously your ages, all that, the normal stuff. Are you allergic to anything? All this mess. And what did you eat last? Obviously, that's a concern when you have somebody in stomach pain. Well, he's like, man, he goes, I was out on the lake, and there was a lake. And now let me set the tone here. This is an apartment complex, and like I said, I don't cast judgment on nothing. People, I am not trying to tell anyone that apartment complex, sure, there's nothing wrong with that. There's millions of people that live in them. But I'm trying to paint the story. This apartment complex, it was not the best. There's a lake and when I say lake, I'm not talking about lake where, you got people out fishing on the water. I'm talking about basically it's a puddle in between the apartments. And in there's trash floating on the edges and stuff like that. So it's not something that you're going fishing and you're going to go fry up like a fish out of there, like a trout or a bass or whatever, or a dolphin from the ocean. It's pretty disgusting. It looks like there's garbage floating. So I'm trying to speed this up. So he doesn't feel well. He's telling me I ate some chicken earlier, and I don't know why my stomach hurts. And I'm like, the guy, I wasn't there. Like I said, this is a guy. So the other paramedic is asking him, sir, what did you eat exactly? Did you cook it? Did you this or that? He goes, well, I had some water chicken. And I said, what? He was like, water chicken? What are you talking about? Water chicken? Did you eat fish or chicken? He's like, no, water chicken. I had a water chicken. So he goes, the water chicken, and he pointed to the out the door, and we look. The dude looks out the door, and he sees on the water Muscovy ducks. Look them up. They're pretty nasty. He went out there and caught one of these Muscovy ducks and cleaned it, and he cooked a Muscovy duck, which I don't know. I mean, just because they're gross, whatever, but they're living in this lake with garbage floating everywhere, and this guy is eating them. He tells him, sir, no wonder you have an upset stomach. You ate a duck from this disgusting. And the guy says, well, I don't, so water chicken was the term that he used to call this duck. So I don't know, whatever. You come up with your own sayings, just the same as we do. And so that's one of them. I got a million more. The same guy goes on another call. I'll make this fast. Same guy, another call. He's starting to get better at interpreting these things. Domestic call. Guy gets into an argument. I think it was even the same complex. Guy gets into an argument with his wife. Wife hits him over the head. He gets there. He's got a bump on his head. And guy says, she hit me, man. She hit me. And we're like, well, what did she hit you with? It's important. Did she hit you with a pillow? Did she hit you with a maybe a flip-flop, you get hit over the head with a chancla, or did you get hit in the head with a bat? You know, there's a big difference. He says, she hit me with a smoova. What in the hell is a smoova? Nobody knew what a smoova was. And after he said it a dozen times, he finally got up, and there's an iron, a clothes iron on the floor next to the ironing board. That's a smoova. So if you ever come across somebody that says, I got hit with a smoova, you know they got hit with an iron. That's pretty serious. So after that, after he got done telling us the story, everyone referred to Dave as the smoova. That's it. I'll tell you some more later. Hope you guys have fun listening to that. If not, I'll come up with some more, see if you like that, and we'll keep going on the clutch and get all this stuff back together. Hope you like and subscribe and follow the channel. And I don't know, we're going to be all over the place, kind of like everything. We're just going to go do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And we'll see you in Alaska. All right, peace.